Guys, the next game we are moving on to is the Miami Dolphins versus the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo coming out on top 26-11.
Yeah, and Buffalo was 14.5-point favorites coming into this game. They covered the spread with that last-minute touchdown by Josh Allen. But it was a competitive game, actually, most of the game. I think the whole we barely saw this if you were watching Red Zone. It was 3-3 most of the first half. It was kind of crazy. But on the Miami side of the ball, Tua had a fine game. From a fantasy perspective, he ran around a little bit. He scored a rushing touchdown. But an NFL perspective, it was it left you wanting more, I believe. There was not much of a rushing game. Not that we really expected it against this Bills defense, but Myles Gaskin, again, he was usable. He got 3 catches, 19 yards, 12 attempts for 36 yards. Not beautiful, but it looks to be the lead back for the Dolphins, which is something positive you can take away from this, I think. But the big thing I wanted to focus on, Mike Gesicki, he had his game. But DeVante Parker, he got a ton of targets, 11 targets, I believe, 8 catches, 85 yards. He was by far the most productive receiver for this team, the most productive player, you might say. Does DeVante Parker really hurt Jaylen Waddle's effectiveness, his upside? Can you play Jaylen Waddle with confidence with DeVante Parker in there? Because I think we were kind of feeling good about Jaylen Waddle in this offense. But now, after seeing this game, I know he got the targets, but I don't know, Simon, what do you think?
Yeah, it limits his upside. I think you hit it right on that. You can still start Jaylen Waddle, but DeVante Parker does limit that upside. I think we'll see DeVante Parker weeks. I think we'll see Waddle weeks. It's going to depend where the touchdowns go. They're both going to be involved. It's another receiver for Tua to target. It's an upside limiter, but not a fantasy death sentence that DeVante Parker is back.
Yeah.
I think we saw a bigger impact to Mike Gesicki's targets, right? 4 targets this week. Well, Jaylen Waddle had 1 more target than DeVante Parker, like Josh said. I don't know that it might limit Waddle's ultimate upside, but I don't think from a fantasy perspective it impacts him too much. I think he's still the one on this offense, but you might see these other ancillary options like Mike Gesicki. I was gonna say maybe Myles Gaskin, but
the thing is, are you benching Mike Gesicki? Is this
no, of course not. But you might see that his upside limited if with more receiving options on the field.
I just don't even know if I want to play Jaylen Waddle, honestly. Personally, I mean, it really makes me hesitant starting him. I mean, at PPR you can, he's getting the targets, but I'm concerned. I'm concerned about his upside.
So going into this week, he was the wide receiver 20 in PPR formats, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that.
Jaylen Waddle.
Jaylen Waddle, yeah, wide receiver 20. I don't expect that to continue. I think that drops. He drops into wide receiver 3 conversation instead of a wide receiver 2. But that's still a startable fantasy. And
I do realize this is a great Bills defense, right? This is a great Bills defense. And, so I still want to see what happens to come, right?
Yeah. That's a great point, Josh. Let's see how he does against Houston. After that, he does at Baltimore, which is not a great matchup. But yeah, I do think that we have to take the matchup into account here.